I am a massive Pokemon fan. Some could argue that I like these games a little too much. I started out with Gen 3 and have gone back and played every single Pokemon game through the years, or every single generation through the years. It's a lot of games. Unfortunately, the thing is with Pokemon, it has always been known for really, really high quality games. I mean, that's fortunate, right? But the unfortunate part is the second that it hit the Switch era, for some reason, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company just took a nosedive for seemingly no reason. Whereas the quality and the performance of the games just took a huge, huge dip. Whereas in the past, you could kind of count on these games being really well made, but the second that like Gen 8 hit, it just wasn't the same, right? So I kind of want to just have a gush video, right? Because the whole premise of this video is I want to talk about Pokemon going forward. We're right now in the making of this video awaiting the release of Pokemon Legends ZA, which looks promising, but at the same time, again, this is just a gush video, it's in Lumio City. Like, the whole game is in Lumio City, and I feel like that makes it really limiting. Now, it could be really cool if they make Lumio City very large in scope. I mean, cities aren't exactly small in the real world. But at the same time, the lack of having dynamic environments kind of looks boring, in my opinion. Now, Legends Arceus got a lot of praise on the Switch, and I will say Legends Arceus, aside from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, was probably the best made Pokemon game. And I know I'm going to have people come in here and be like, you did not just say Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were better than all the other games. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were kind of boring. They were kind of like easy baby games, but you can't deny that those games visually, graphically, and performance-wise are the best that the Switch has. It's a better polished game than Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. With Legends Arceus tended to be, in my opinion, like, I think it was really cool with the open world. I think it was really cool with the way that you caught Pokemon. At the same time, you had to mash through so much goddamn dialogue to get through that game. I'm sorry, the story is so boring in Legends Arceus. And you have to mash through so much of it in order to unlock features of the game. You can't fly until the last area of the game. Speaking of which, there are 5 areas of the game, and they're all kind of really small and sometimes feel very barren. The cool thing about Pokemon is the premise is catching them all, right? Which gives you something to do in these environments. Scarlet and Violet kind of suffers from the same thing. But once you've caught all the Pokemon in the area, there's not much to see or do. You're just kind of walking around in a barren world at that point. And I think that's the problem that a lot of these games have, is they just don't feel as deep or dynamic as their predecessors. I think once we hit the Switch era, there was a very big shift in the way Pokemon was made. Pokemon during the DS era and the Game Boy era, I feel like was more about the experience, and the devs put a lot of time and effort, especially in the post games. Like, in modern Pokemon games, we really don't have post games. Sword and Shield had like the battle tower thing, which wasn't even like a battle, it was just like a mini thing. And Scarlet and Violet had, God, I don't think Scarlet and Violet had anything. I think you just finished the game and that's it. It had like the rebattling the trainers, and like you could battle your rival again. Cool. Like, I don't know. I feel like these games lacked a lot. And let's talk about like the actual quality of the games themselves, right? So Sword and Shield gets a lot of hate. I like Sword and Shield a lot. Not for giving those N64 level graphics, because oh my god, the freaking Dexit and I forget what the N64, I think it was like Tree Gate, where they kept doing pictures of the fucking tree. So bad. But aside from that, I think Sword and Shield was really fun. I like the linear Pokemon experiences. The open world was cool, but I think it was executed not right in Scarlet and Violet. It was more just like it was a concept, but like, you can't, it's not really open world, because like if you go and you attack all the later gyms first, because you can do gyms in any order in Scarlet and Violet, then when you go back to do the earlier ones, they're a cakewalk, they're easy because you're over leveled. And I just feel like the gyms maybe should have scaled with you. Fun thing about Pokemon, Black and White 2 are the only games that have a difficulty setting. And like, why don't we have that? Why can't we make it like, because if you went to the later gyms first in Scarlet and Violet, that was really cool, because then it was super fucking hard. And that was awesome because Pokemon fans are begging for harder versions. Like, so much that they do self-imposed rules to get a more difficult version of the game. And it's like, why don't they just give us like a difficulty option? I don't know. Either way, so let's go to the Switch 2, right? So Pokemon games took a dip in quality on the Switch. The Switch 2, I'm hoping that it'll give us more promise. On one hand, Pokemon seems to have learned how to increase their performance on the Switch 2, given Scarlet and Violet. If you don't know, once the Switch 2 came out, Scarlet and Violet got a performance patch where it actually runs at a good frame rate and looks good because they upscaled it and it runs well. Which is like, damn, these games, Scarlet and Violet, got so overshadowed by their poor performance that people forgot that, like, under that, they're actually pretty good games. Too bad it just runs like a fucking Microsoft PowerPoint presentation when you play it on Switch 1. That's part of the reason, by the way, I'm not showing like gameplay footage for the whole thing of Scarlet and Violet, because I have a Switch 1, and God, no, I'm not going to make you sit through that and watch that. It's terrible. It's not fun. So we're playing different games on here. Wild. Oh, and don't even get me started on BDSP. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Okay, so if we're talking about bad Switch games, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl takes the cake. Like, I'll say this, I don't even think they're as good as Diamond and Pearl. I think they're worse than the original games. Like, you have some extra content, which, by the way, BDSP are the only Pokemon games in a generation I've never finished. As of recording this, I'm 7 badges in, because I can't bring myself to play it because it's so fucking boring. I'm sorry, the games are so easy. Like, it's cakewalk easy. I ditched my team, my party roster, like 2 badges into the game because I was just one-hitting everything. All the gym leaders. It was so boring, dude. So I just swapped my team, and I was like, okay, I'm just only going to use Pokemon that have less than a 450 base stat total, because otherwise the game's too easy. And that's a shame, because Diamond and Pearl could have been really, really good remakes. Honestly, if they, and here's my opinion, if they just ditched Legends Arceus and they made the Diamond and Pearl remakes in the Legends Arceus format, I think those remakes would have been some of the best remakes out of any of them. But no, they were like, let's do a cheap port and then let's do a Diamond and Pearl inspired game, which is like, it hurt both of the games. They should have just done Diamond and Pearl in the Legends Arceus format. That's my opinion. But either way, it's like when you get to the Switch era, you notice between Sun and Moon, Ultra. Remember when people were dogging on Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, being like so mad because it was the same game but again? I miss those days. But now we're complaining that the games don't fucking run properly. So, Switch 2 era, I'm hoping that when they make a Switch 2 exclusive Pokemon, Gen 10, the Waves and Wind game, that it is what people want it to be. That it's they don't go back, because I'm hoping that, like, even though they have more power on Switch 2, that they don't take that and then, you know, they make the games look a lot better, but then they make the games run a lot worse. It's like, keep it where it's at right now with Scarlet and Violet. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't make them run like freaking potato PlayStation 3. Like, no, you don't need to do that. Here's to hoping that Pokemon on Switch 2 gets better, because I love Pokemon, and Pokemon's one of the only series where I will buy it anyway. Unless it's fucking BDSP. I'm sorry, BDSP was so bad. I'm so upset that game exists in the way that it does. And like, we're finally coming up on, like, after Gen 10 comes out, we're coming up on our Black and White remakes. And God, Pokemon, you can't fuck that up. They're the best games in this series. You can't fuck up Gen 5. Don't do it. Like, just don't. I love Pokemon too much. Just like, this is a gush video. I just hope it's good on the Switch 2. It can be good if they learn from the Scarlet and Violet thing. If they don't, what's going to happen is 2 games in, they're going to start pushing the limits of the Switch 2, and it's going to run like dog shit. But let's hope that doesn't happen, because we need our Pokemon games to be good again. So I'll chalk it up to this. Maybe it was just that they had weak hardware. I don't know, hands up. Maybe, and just maybe, that since they had a team working on it, they had to optimize it, because Breath of the Wild had years and years to optimize, which is why it looks so good. And Pokemon, they rushed it, so they couldn't do more than the fucking N64 textures. Maybe. I don't know. But now that we got Switch 2 hardware, now it's in the spotlight. So don't fuck it up, Pokemon. I love your games, and Gens 1 through 7 are really high quality. They're really good. I like Gen 7. A lot of people dogged on Gen 7 because it was cutscene mania. I thought Gen 7 was really cool. I thought it had one of the most unique stories. It had one of the best stories, in my opinion. I haven't played Gen 5 in a long time, so I can't really compare it because it's escaped my memory. But Gen 7 had an amazing story. And I think right next to Gen 7 is Gen 9. I think that Scarlet and Violet had a really good story for what it was, besides Penny being the most annoying and boring character out of it. Like, the whole bullying trope. It's like, if I was 9, sure, but, like, come on, dude. You don't... The bullying thing is boring. Like, who the fuck cares, right? Aside from Penny, I think all the characters are really good in Scarlet and Violet. Like, keep going with that. They know how to write decent stories. They've been doing it. Even Sword and Shield wasn't that bad with Hop, Knockoff, How, whatever the fuck. They had Leon, and they had the Hop dynamic. Like, besides the Chairman Rose shit, which was boring, Leon was one of the best, like, champions we ever had. Seriously, he was so good. Gen 7 was good with story. Gen 8 had really good elements. Gen 9 was good. Gen 6, everyone forgets exists, but we got ZA coming on around. Like, Pokemon's always been pretty good with this. Like, they don't... I'm just worried that they're going to make the games, like, fucking trash. So, that's where my concern comes in. But what do you think? I'm hoping that Switch 2 gives us a better quality of games. I hope they have more post-game than fucking shiny hunting and online battles. The online battles have gotten a lot better. I'll say competitive play has gotten a big shine in the spotlight, which I think is really, really cool, and I love that. And they've been catering the games towards competitive play, which is so cool. It's awesome. Give us more post-game content, though. Like, I love shiny hunting. I'm a shiny hunting hoe. I love online battles. I think it's a lot of fun. But don't have that be it. Like, that's all you can do in the post-game, is you can shiny hunt and then use those shinies in online battles. It's like, bro. And stop locking post-game behind a DLC paywall. Like, DLC is cool. It's fine. But don't make that, like, the only way to play the game after. Let me tell you, Scarlet and Violet was fucking boring after you beat the game. Boring, unless you bought the DLC. Which is like, come on, dude. Come on, just give us more to do. Give us a Battle Frontier. What happened to the Battle Frontier? Like, you took out the game corner because of the gambling shit. I get that. It's upsetting. But it is what it is. Where's the Battle Frontier? Let us rent Pokemon again and do, like, the rented Pokemon shit. Let us go through, like, a mini catacomb maze and fight some trainers with uncatchable shinies so everyone can get pissed off and have stream clips and shit. Like, give us that shit back. Why you gut it? They gutted the Battle Frontier ever since Gen 4. Like, just give us it back. Please. Please. Even in BDSP, they copied everything one for one except for the motherfucking Battle Frontier. Why? Why you do this? Faithful Remake my ass. It's called Lazy Remake. You copy pasted the code. That's why you can fucking Control-C, Control-V mods in BDSP. You know the original Diamond and Pearl mods work on BDSP? It's because it was that lazy. Same code. So I'm done. I'm done ranting about it. Let's hope Switch 2 Pokemon is good. If you agree with me, hit the subscribe button. I don't know. I sometimes make Nintendo videos. I mostly make, like, random gaming videos and stuff I like. So I'd appreciate if you hit the subscribe button and the like button. And if you don't, I'm going to be very sad. If you hit the dislike button, I'm going to be even more sad. Please don't do that. It's going to make me not happy. I'm going to click on one of these videos. You like them? Alright, I'm done.